For decades, the Leopard 2 has maintained its status as one of the most formidable main battle tanks in the world. Its reputation is built not only on raw firepower and protection but also on its adaptability to different operational environments. While widely recognized as a cornerstone of NATO armored forces, in Northern Europe the Leopard 2 has taken on a unique strategic role. Here, it is not just another piece of heavy military hardware, it has become an essential element of defense strategies tailored to some of the harshest conditions on Earth. The forests, frozen lakes, and extreme winters of Scandinavia and Finland have shaped how these nations deploy and maintain their armored forces, creating a battlefield logic that is distinct from the wide-open plains of Central Europe or desert environments elsewhere. The modern Leopard 2 variants, including the A7 and the anticipated A8 models, are the culmination of decades of upgrades designed to preserve the tank's effectiveness against evolving threats. Unlike superficial improvements, these upgrades reflect a comprehensive approach to survival and lethality. The 120mm L-55 smoothbore cannon, for example, can fire both advanced kinetic energy penetrators and programmable explosive rounds, allowing the tank to engage a wide spectrum of targets with precision. Modular armor packages have been developed to resist both traditional kinetic impacts and tandem charge warheads, ensuring that crews remain protected even against modern anti-tank threats. Beyond armor and weaponry, the Leopard 2 integrates advanced fire control systems, thermal imaging, and laser rangefinders, enabling the crew to identify and strike targets under extreme weather or darkness. These systems transform the tank from a traditional armored vehicle into a highly capable combat node within a larger battlefield network. Northern European countries have tailored their Leopard 2 fleets to meet specific operational doctrines and environmental challenges. Finland, for instance, operates one of the largest fleets of Leopard 2A6 and upgraded A4S, which serve as the backbone of a strategy designed to slow down and counter potential incursions across densely forested borders. The forested terrain and frozen lakes of Finland demand a vehicle that can maneuver in confined corridors, deliver decisive strikes, and operate continuously in sub-zero temperatures. Norway, after a careful evaluation of options including South Korea's K2 Black Panther, selected the Leopard 2A7 in 2023, prioritizing compatibility with allied NATO forces. Denmark has invested in Leopard 2s primarily for overseas deployments, while Sweden continues to modernize and maintain its Leopard 2A5S to meet national defense needs. These adaptations collectively form a Northern Leopard network, a community of tanks modified to suit local terrain, tactical doctrines, and logistical capabilities. Operating in Arctic and subarctic regions requires special technical and operational adaptations. Engines must reliably start and operate in temperatures as low as -30 degrees Celsius. Tracks and suspension systems are designed to maintain traction on icy or snow-covered ground. Maintenance operations must account for freezing lubricants and materials that become hazardous in extreme cold. Roads are limited, rivers freeze or flood seasonally, and forests restrict maneuverability, which means that traditional flanking or wide maneuver strategies are impractical. Instead, tanks operate within narrow operational corridors, coordinated closely with infantry, artillery, and other supporting units to achieve decisive results. The Leopard 2's engine power and mobility make it well suited for these conditions, but its effectiveness depends heavily on meticulous planning, pre-positioned logistics, and environmental adaptations. Logistics plays a critical role in the operational viability of these tanks. A Leopard 2 consumes significant amounts of fuel, and its components, engines, transmissions, and tracks, require secure supply chains, particularly in the remote and weather-challenged regions of Northern Europe. Maintenance crews must be trained to perform complex repairs in extreme cold, including towing heavy vehicles and operating field workshops in near-freezing temperatures. Without robust logistics, even the most advanced tank can become immobilized and vulnerable. This reality has led NATO planners in the region to emphasize infrastructure, field maintenance, and continuous supply chain readiness as much as the tanks themselves. Integration with modern battlefield technology has further enhanced the Leopard 2's relevance. Active protection systems like Trophy and Iron Fist provide defense against incoming anti-tank missiles, improving survivability in high-threat environments. Networked operations allow crews to receive intelligence from drones, ground sensors, and allied reconnaissance units, extending their operational reach far beyond line-of-sight targeting. In this context, the tank functions not as a solitary combatant but as a central hub in a multi-domain combat ecosystem, linking armored firepower with reconnaissance, artillery, and command and control systems. This integration amplifies the tank's effectiveness while reducing its vulnerabilities. The conflict in Ukraine has highlighted both the capabilities and the limitations of modern armored vehicles. Leopard 2 tanks deployed in combat have demonstrated exceptional firepower and defensive resilience, but losses have also occurred where adequate support from air defense, artillery, or reconnaissance was lacking. This underscores a critical lesson for Northern Europe: tanks cannot operate effectively in isolation. Instead, they must be embedded within a comprehensive combat system that integrates drones, precision strikes, layered defenses, and logistical support. The Leopard 2A7 and A8 are potent platforms individually, but their true impact arises when they are interconnected with the wider operational network, allowing for rapid intelligence dissemination and coordinated action. Political and economic factors heavily influence how Northern European nations manage their armored forces. For instance, Denmark has recently committed substantial funds to modernizing its air defense capabilities, prompting debates over the allocation of resources between armor and other military priorities. Norway, despite having considerable financial resources, had to choose between purchasing K2 Black Panther tanks or Leopard 2s, ultimately selecting the Leopard to ensure interoperability with neighboring NATO allies and European production chains. Finland, now a NATO member, has invested heavily in its ground forces to secure an extensive border with Russia. Each decision reflects a balance between operational requirements, alliance commitments, industrial collaboration, and national security priorities. Investing in the Leopard 2A7 or 2A8 is therefore as much a political statement as it is a military one, signaling both strategic intent and regional commitment. Operational doctrine for Northern European Leopard 2 fleets revolves around three central themes. First, border defense. Tanks are deployed to reinforce choke points, deny access through critical corridors, and counter any penetration attempts. Second, coastal and island defense. Armored formations protect important islands and coastal areas from potential amphibious threats or incursions. Third, deterrence. The visible deployment of tank signals to potential adversaries that aggression will be costly and actively resisted. In all these scenarios, the tank operates not as an independent force but as part of a combined arms formation including infantry, artillery, engineers, and increasingly unmanned systems. Emerging threats further complicate armored operations. Swarms of low-cost drones, loitering munitions, and electronic warfare technologies threaten the survivability of even the most advanced tanks. Although active protection systems and counter-drone technologies provide some mitigation, no solution is perfect, and vulnerabilities remain. Moreover, the supply chains for advanced electronics, optics, and engine components are susceptible to geopolitical disruption, which presents structural risks for smaller countries reliant on foreign suppliers. Northern European planners therefore face the dual challenge of maintaining advanced tank capabilities while investing in resilience, redundancy, and complementary systems to ensure operational sustainability. The Leopard 2A7 and A8 embody both continuity and transformation in modern armored warfare. Continuity lies in their enduring role as heavy striking platforms within NATO forces, vehicles that have proven their reliability over decades. Transformation arises from their integration into digitally connected networks that leverage sensor data, precision fires, and situational awareness to maximize battlefield performance. For Scandinavian countries, these investments go beyond military considerations. They convey a commitment to maintaining regional security, ensuring that geography is defended by adaptable and resilient forces. Even in an age dominated by drones, precision-guided munitions, and electronic warfare, the Leopard 2 remains a decisive tool for Northern European militaries. Its effectiveness depends less on the sheer thickness of its armor or the power of its cannon and more on how well it functions within a broader network of forces. The tank's presence in snow-laden forests, frozen plains, and narrow operational corridors is a reminder that, despite rapid technological evolution, the main battle tank remains highly relevant. With careful adaptation, robust logistics, and advanced integration, the Leopard 2 continues to exert strategic influence and maintain battlefield credibility. In the context of Northern Europe's complex geopolitical environment, the Leopard 2 represents a synthesis of tradition and innovation. It preserves the heavy-hitting capabilities that have made it a reliable backbone for NATO armies while evolving into a platform designed for modern, digitized warfare in extreme climates. Investments in these tanks reflect national and alliance-level strategic priorities, ensuring that armored forces remain capable of deterring threats, securing borders, and contributing to multi-domain operations. Far from being an obsolete relic, the Leopard 2 today is a highly capable, resilient, and adaptable system central to Northern European defense planning. Ultimately, the Leopard 2A7 and A8 demonstrate that main battle tanks remain indispensable, provided they are integrated into comprehensive operational frameworks. Their success is determined not only by armor and armament but by their connectivity, situational awareness, and interoperability with other assets. In the forests, frozen lakes, and rugged terrain of Scandinavia and Finland, these tanks are more than just machines. They are symbols of strategic intent, technological sophistication, and the enduring importance of armored warfare. Through careful planning, continuous modernization, and operational discipline, the Leopard 2 ensures that Northern European nations maintain credible, capable, and resilient defenses in the face of evolving threats. Even as the nature of warfare continues to change, the Leopard 2's role in Northern Europe underscores a critical truth. Heavy armor, when intelligently deployed and supported, remains an irreplaceable element of national and alliance defense. The main battle tank is no longer a solitary force but a central hub within a complex, multi-domain system, and in the extreme conditions of the North, it continues to assert its relevance, effectiveness, and strategic value. By combining legacy capabilities with modern technologies and integrated operational concepts, the Leopard 2 demonstrates that it is not only a machine of steel and firepower but also a linchpin of modern defense strategy.